Why Lily is a better match for Holden than Claire on Young and the Restless. On The Young and the Restless, November 19th, Lily finds a friend in Holden. She needs someone to talk to after seeing Kane and Phyllis together. Their previous connection had us seeing sparks flying between them, and the soap should build on that. Key takeaways. Lily confided in Holden. Holden is interested in Claire. Claire told Holden that she doesn't want to jump into another relationship. Holden should get to know Lily, who knows what she wants. An unlikely shoulder to lean on. Lily Crystal Khalil found herself defending Kane, Billy Flynn, to Chelsea, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam, Mark Grossman. However, she needs time when it comes to reconciling with him. Over the summer, Lily got close to Damian Jermaine Rivers when they were in Nice. But then he got a knife in the back, which ruined her chances of a romantic connection. What Lily needs is a fresh start. On Wednesday's episode, she crossed paths with Damian's best friend, Holden Nathan Owens, at the lounge at GCC. She needed a drink after spotting Kane and Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, together. Meanwhile, Holden's feelings for Claire, Haley Aaron, became clear after their trip to Los Angeles. However, she told Holden that she wasn't sure they should jump back into bed together anytime soon. Claire wants to return to some sort of normalcy, despite the passion they shared. She wants time to figure herself out. The last thing she needs is another serious relationship. This suggests that Holden is free to do as he pleases. So, his jokes broke the ice with Lily. But she wanted to know what he does for Kane. She advised Holden to move back to LA and find a new job. Another chemistry test? YNR fans remember when the show Chemistry tested Lily and Holden during the summer. There were apparent sparks between them. However, the soap decided to focus on Holden's growing connection with Claire. On Wednesday's episode, Lily told Holden that she doesn't trust him. However, she should make the most of this unlikely friendship. She should take her mind off business and get to know Holden. He's good-looking, charming, and available. Lily could use some fun in her life, especially since Kane has no problem hooking up with Phyllis. This move proved that he's no longer going to wait around for his ex-wife. It's time for Lily to move on as well. That almost happened when she was with Damian. But maybe his death could bring her closer to Holden. Plus, unlike Claire, Lily already knows what she wants, and she goes for it. Holden needs a woman like that rather than waiting around for someone who isn't as serious about him. When Holden first stepped into Genoa City, he seemed like the kind of man the world could easily misinterpret. Stoic but not cold, sharp-witted but not flashy, he carried the kind of quiet intensity that made people curious without quite knowing why. His arrival unsettled the usual rhythms of town gossip, and soon two very different women found themselves circling his gravity. Claire Grace, whose troubled history still echoed through every doubt-filled look she cast at him, and Lily Winters, whose kindness had weathered just as many storms as Claire's, but who faced her past with a steadier, more compassionate heart. Both women connected with him, but for very different reasons. And those differences reveal why, ultimately, Lily is a far better match for Holden than Claire. Lily understands reinvention because she's done the work herself. Holden is a man trying to move beyond shadows that most people never see. Whether he talks about them or not, they linger around him, hints of broken trust, old battles, and mistakes he can't yet put a name to. Lily is one of the few people in Genoa City who understands what it means to rebuild yourself from the ruins of your own choices. She's lived through grief, addiction within her family, the collapse of her marriage, the loss of her father, and more than one identity crisis thrust upon her by forces outside her control. But she did not simply survive, she rebuilt with intention. Her growth wasn't instantaneous. It wasn't a storyline of miraculous transformation. It was a slow, sometimes painfully unglamorous commitment to becoming the type of person she wished she'd had around her during her lowest moments. So when Holden shows signs of carrying emotional weight, Lily doesn't mistake it for danger or mystery, she recognizes it as humanity. She doesn't need to fix him, save him, or diagnose him. She simply meets him where he is, because someone once did the same for her. Claire, in contrast, is still on her own journey of reinvention. She is rebuilding from trauma so deep it shaped her entire identity. She tries to step forward, but her past still pulls at her like an undertow. She's courageous, yes, but she is not yet whole enough to carry someone else's unfinished healing alongside her own. Holden doesn't need someone mirroring his wounds. He needs someone who knows how to turn wounds into wisdom. Lily has done that work. Claire is still beginning it. 2. Lily brings stability, not just emotion. Holden is a man who values structure, even if he rarely admits it. He thrives when the world feels anchored, when someone offers steady reassurance without demanding he be perfect. Lily provides that in abundance. She is mature without being rigid, compassionate without being naive, calm without being dull. Her life is filled with responsibilities, family, business, legacy, and she handles them with a grace that naturally makes people feel safe. Being around Lily is like stepping into a room where the lights have already been turned on. You don't have to feel your way through the dark. Claire, however, is still navigating the high tides of emotion. For her, love often looks like urgency, like wanting to be understood, trusted, redeemed. She cares deeply, but her love comes from a place still fragile, still forming. She can be impulsive, reactive, and overwhelmed by the ghosts of her past. Holden's strength is quiet. Lily's steadiness complements that. Claire's volatility collides with it. Holden doesn't need fireworks, he needs foundation. And Lily is the kind of foundation people can actually build a life on. 3. Lily sees the real Holden, not the version she wants to save. There is something quietly remarkable about the way Lily listens to Holden. She doesn't interrogate his hesitations. She doesn't treat his privacy as a puzzle to solve. She doesn't romanticize his silence into mystique. Instead, she reads him with the subtle intuition she's gained from raising children, burying loved ones, running companies, and surviving heartbreak. She pays attention to what he doesn't say, but only when it matters. When Holden retreats, Lily doesn't chase him. She gives him room without making him feel abandoned. She sees beneath the surface, but only steps toward the truth when he invites her. With Claire, the situation is trickier. She often looks at Holden through the lens of her own insecurity, her fear of not being trusted, her worry about repeating past mistakes, her hesitation about her own self-worth. She tries so hard to prove she's changed that sometimes she projects her conflict onto him. Holden doesn't want to be redeemed. He wants to be known. Lily does that naturally, without expectation, without fear, without conditions. For Lily and Holden speak the same emotional language. The dynamic between Lily and Holden is not built on dramatic plot twists or high-stakes confrontations. It's built on compatibility.